All right, let's do another one. Hopefully, actually quick this time. You know what? I'm just gonna stop saying it's gonna be quick because it never is. But Jesus, I already talked about these. But what do I have it plugged into here today? This. Come on, come on. That is a little magic dongle called the FiiO SnowSky Tiny. This is the Tiny B, which has 3.5 on one side. If I'll get some focus. There we go. Ugh, it's so black that it's not going well. Doesn't know what to do. What if I have many things? No? There we go. So we've got the Tiny B here, 3.5 on one side, 4.4 on the other, USB-C, dongle DAC. Latest from FiiO at the time of this recording. Plug this back in here. Nice and secure, as well as the USB-C when it's plugged into things. As a product, its specs are whatever it says on this page from FiiO. The most interesting thing about this is precise PEQ tuning. That's right. So you can go on the FiiO Control web application or Android application and do custom EQ, full 10 band, all the EQ you could need. And I mean, as just a DAC without running EQ through anything, it sounds good. It sounds exactly as you'd expect from FiiO, you know, powerful bass response, all that. That, you know, it's a good source. There's not much else to be said about that. Direct plug-in design, inline control. So I'm assuming this is going to be one of the newer Cirrus Logic chipsets because it supports inline mics and stuff like that. I don't know that as a fact. I'm not sure if it says it here, but it comes in the FiiO SnowSky Tiny A or B. I have the B version, which is the dual 3.5, 4.4 outputs. The A version has another USB-C on the side, as pictured here, so that you can charge and listen to music at the same time. I don't know if it will do like a crazy double DSP thing, where if you plug this in with a PEQ profile and then plug in a DSP cable to this, if that'll work. This probably is just for power delivery, but I don't have it on hand to test either way. The 3.5, 4.4 was more useful to me. And look, the reason I got this is because I believe this is the cheapest solution for device agnostic PEQ for headphones. I want to say, well, device agnostic in that it's USB-C. So if you're on older iPhone, you'd have to run an adapter or something. I don't believe this comes in Lightning. And the app is useless for iPhone users either way. Can confirm. Apple just doesn't like you. So you're going to have to be using the web app, which I will go over shortly. After just breezing through the rest of this, generic DAC marketing things, PCM, DSD, all your fun stuff. It's a good DAC. It's a very fine source, supports inline controls and microphone, convenient and practical for use. Probably. I mean, normal dongle DACs you can plug in on an iPhone and you won't get audio out because it's not recognizing it as something that it should be putting audio out through for phone calls. But I did test this earlier today, and even if you don't have an inline microphone cable on your IEMs plugged in, it will output the sound through your whatever headphones plugged into it during a phone call, things like that, and FaceTime, whatever. So that's a convenience that I don't know that many other people touch on it, because I think a lot of people in this hobby aren't iPhone users, or at least if they are, they're using the AirPods Pro 2 for everything, which is fine, but not something I do. It is an all metal construction. It feels sturdy. There's a little light at the bottom that does things. You can turn it off in the settings, but I don't care enough to really fuck with any of that. Here's gear. You got a Nintendo Switch, use it for your Switch. It does have the UAC 1.0 mode. I don't know if you have to toggle that in the web app. Haven't tried it, don't have a Switch, but that's cool. I know if you plug it directly into a MacBook, it will just work. So, yeah, it's a fantastic little product. I know some people aren't a fan of this style of dongle DAC because, you get this caught on something the wrong way and then you destroy your entire USB-C port, but I've not had that issue. I've used a similar dongle DAC for many months now, the Direct Atom 4, something like that, but I don't have it on my desk at the moment. Anyways, let's quickly go to the FiiO Control web app. That's fiocontrol.fio.com. It comes right up when you Google FiiO Control web app or whatever. Funnily enough, they don't really link to it readily from the FiiO website or the product page, which is interesting. But anyway, it's pretty straightforward. So let's briefly switch back to my camera. I'm gonna plug this guy in to one of my ports somewhere. Let's just plug it. I'm gonna plug it right into my laptop directly, which is off camera. Come on. Gotta find the port, everybody. There we go. So that's plugged in. Switch back over to the app. I'm gonna now connect this, which is pretty easy. I believe this protocol is only supported in browsers like Safari and Chrome. Chromium-based browsers like Arc here work fine. If you're a Firefox person like I normally am, fuck you apparently, but it is what it is. Just web API things for you. So connection type USB, I'm gonna hit connect. It's gonna bring up all of the things that it's picking up, like my keyboard, another audio interface that's plugged in, all of my stuff. But here we see SnowSky Tiny B connect. I do have a EQ profile loaded up already onto the device for my Kotori Audio Vampire that I've really been enjoying. The thing takes to EQ like a champion. And I was playing with this last night. It is pretty straightforward if you know EQ interfaces already. If not, you're gonna have to do some learning. And you can't really import EQ like a text file like you would normally expect. It wants some sort of XML format, which I don't know what software will export EQ profiles in XML, but that's the only thing you can upload. I haven't made an account. I didn't need to do any of this. It will store 3 custom profiles on the device itself that you can switch between with the web app or Android app, as it were. So Vampire, if I were to switch to that one, is a really simple EQ profile. I think I'm only using like three peak filters here, or what is this? 1 shelf and 2 peaks. That was a real quick EQ profile I set up the first time I was playing with this, and then I got a little crazy with auto EQ as a baseline and then some manual tweaks, and that's how I've got my current EQ profile that I've been enjoying on the Vampire with this little dongle, which I would highly recommend. If you're getting into EQ, go on Squiglink, auto EQ, download whatever free software you can to to learn how to do this stuff because it's super powerful. And I already loved the Vampire, but with this profile running, it's even more of an elevated experience. So I would highly recommend getting into EQ if you're really down with hi-fi. But anyway, let's say you wanted to tweak any of this. It's as easy as punching in whatever values or dragging this kind of stuff. I'm not going to do any of that right now because I don't want to fuck with this. But I'll go to save, and you can save to device, save to personal, or override data to personal. I don't exactly know what these two do. All I click is save to device because I don't have an account, so I feel like those other two options won't actually work for me. But yeah, obviously you can turn off the EQ with the close EQ button. All of this stock EQ settings are I'm not going to call it garbage. Maybe it's applicable for some people, but I wouldn't touch those with a 40-foot pole. But anyways, it works. It works well. This thing is like $30 or something. We go back to the release page, the AliExpress link. Yeah, look at that, $29.35. I got mine on Amazon actually. It was delivered in one day, and I believe it was still something like this, $30. Which again, I think this is the cheapest solution for on-the-go EQ, iPhone, Android, whatever you got, with a USB-C. And I think even if you're not using the PEQ as a DAC, it sounds phenomenal. All the quality you would need. I'm going to close out the FiiO app and just pull this thing out. Bring it back to center stage here with my Vampire set. This will draw your battery down more, obviously, because it's doing things in here, powering little chips and all that, outputting 4.4. As far as amp strength, I don't even have to get close to halfway on the iOS volume to get these more than loud enough. So plenty of juice. I would imagine this could power basically anything that you would want to just have plugged in your phone. I don't know about big crazy planars. I haven't tried my DCAs over here. Don't care to, really. I mean, if I bought this thing specifically for EQing IMs and the like, and you know what, it works great. Comes in other different colors. The more fashionable among you can rock with that. I think it's a fantastic product. I might even get another one just to have around because I really enjoy this form factor, even though some people don't. A lot of people like the separate cable or what have you. I mean, I'm sure there's an extension you could buy, maybe like a general USB-C female on one end and like a pigtail, but I don't really care for that at the moment. But this, as my daily setup for walking around the house, walking the dog for the past day or two, has been such a nice experience. I mean, really, EQ can elevate your entire game. And although this video is about this product specifically, I bought it because of its EQ potential. And it works. It works really well for that. I do wish that iOS was less locked down security-wise so that the app would work. But a web app is perfectly fine. You don't need a secondary Android device to just use for its app. You can just use your laptop, computer, whatever. Yeah, it's a fantastic product. Big fan. 10 out of 10 would buy again or whatever the fuck. It's going to drain your battery a little bit, but so will most things in the audio world, in the audio game. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Go get one, honestly. Best decision you could make. What are we at? 15 minutes? Jesus Christ. All right. If you give a shit about any of the stuff, cool. Leave a like. You can ask me questions in the comments or whatever. I don't have any affiliate links or anything. I'm not that guy. Just putting an opinion out there. So, peace.